There's still 4 weeks left in the 2023 NFL campaign, and we're already on our second Commanders mock draft for the 2024 offseason. Welcome into the Commanders Report, and welcome into our second mock draft for the Commanders here for the 2024 NFL Draft. But this time it's a little bit different because this time we're doing it with trades, all right? So before we get into this week's mock draft, do me a favor right now and click that subscribe button because we're going to have you guys covered with Commanders draft content all throughout the 2024 offseason. We're going to have full in-depth scouting reports on every single player that you should be knowing heading into the 2024 NFL draft positions of need. We're going to be going over scouting reports, like I just said. We're going to give you guys every single detail that you need to be an informed Commanders draft fan coming up here this offseason. So do me a favor, click that subscribe button right now. So before we get into the good stuff today, let's talk first about the Commanders' early draft picks. That's day 1 and day 2, rounds 1 through 3. Right now, they currently hold the number 4 overall draft pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. Pick number 36, pick 40 via Chicago. They also have pick number 68 and 100. That one is courtesy of the Chase Young trade from the San Francisco 49ers. And hold on, guys, hold on. I'm getting a call right now, and I'm getting a call from the Chicago Bears, and they're wondering if we want to move up to the number 1 overall draft spot here in the 2024 NFL Draft. This is what GM Ryan Poles is offering me right now. We would have to give up our first-round draft pick for the 2024 and 2025 NFL Drafts, plus a second-rounder in 2024 and a third-rounder in 2025. So if you are the Commanders GM and Ryan Poles gives you a call and offers this to you, what are you doing? Type A for accept or type D for decline. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. So let me know what you guys think down there in the comment section. YouTube's going to throw an ad break here in just a couple of seconds. When that happens, take advantage of that time by letting me know if you're accepting or declining this trade offer from Chicago. Now for me, I'm going to see what happens here when I accept this trade offer. And if we trade up to number 1, it's going to be for Caleb Williams, the quarterback out of USC. And for me, with the choice between Caleb Williams and Drake May, if I'm going to be giving up this much draft capital, I want to be 100% sure with the product I'm getting on the field. And when it comes to the on-the-field stuff, Caleb Williams is the best NFL draft prospect from the quarterback position I have ever evaluated. Now, I've been doing this for a little while now. I've been doing it for about 5-6 years. I evaluated guys like Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence, guys like that, and Caleb Williams surpasses all of those guys in terms of on-field ability. You look at his numbers with the USC Trojans. The completion percentage just kept going up and up. Of course, he won the Heisman Trophy back in 2022. He played less games this year, of course, because he's not going to be playing in his bowl game. He didn't play in the Pac-12 championship game, so 2 less games on his 2023 schedule. But he still threw for 30 touchdowns and only 5 interceptions. And when it comes to Caleb Williams, man, the arm talent is absolutely insane. Can throw it 70 yards on a dot no matter what arm angle he's throwing from. He's got great pocket presence. He's got that great pocket feel that guys like Patrick Mahomes and Kyler Murray and Aaron Rodgers possess, and even Tom Brady, right? They can move inside the pocket and find those pockets of space and then deliver the ball with a full field progression. He's already doing that in college, those full field progressions. You don't see that very often in college quarterbacks, and he's already doing it at an NFL level, which is incredible with NFL level footwork. So for me personally, man, Caleb Williams, when it comes to the on-field stuff, is absolutely fantastic. And if I'm trading up to number 1, for a quarterback, I am going with the best quarterback prospect that I have personally ever evaluated for the NFL Draft, Caleb Williams. Now coming up here, another trade is upcoming in the second round because we just drafted a quarterback. We got to send Sam Howell elsewhere, so I'll let you know what I think the Commanders can get in a potential Sam Howell trade. But first, check out our friends here at PrizePicks. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use our code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100 today. If you're looking for a way to spice up your game days this NFL season, you can get started with PrizePicks right now. PrizePicks is a skill-based, real money daily fantasy sports game. You might be asking yourselves, how does that work, Jack? Well, here's how. You pick 2 to 6 players if they'll go for more or less than their PrizePicks projection. You can even win up to 25 times your money on any entry. So let's take a look at my entry here on PrizePicks. I got the more on Jalen Hyatt receiving yards. I got the less on DeAndre Hopkins fantasy score tonight. I got the more on Jordan Love, and I got the more on Tua Tagovailoa on Monday Night Football. You can get your picks in before Monday Night Football or before we kick off Week 15 by checking it out now at prizepicks.com/CLNS and use our code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100 today. With PrizePicks, it takes less than 60 seconds to make your picks. So get started right away. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use our code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100 today. So now we get to pick number 40 here. And because you don't take an offensive lineman in round 1, I think you absolutely have to go get one in round 2 here. So I'm pulling the trigger for Troy Fautanu, the offensive lineman from the Washington Huskies. Now, my plan with Fautanu here is that he's been playing tackle. He's played a little bit of guard as well. A lot of people think Fautanu is more of a guard at the NFL level. He's been playing mostly tackle in his college career. But the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to plug him in at either left guard or right tackle to start his season, to start his rookie campaign, wherever he fits best, with the potential of moving him to left tackle in the future. And the reason why I have this specific plan for Fautanu instead of staying put and taking like an Alu Fashanu, for example, in the first round is because Charles Leno Jr.'s contract is going to be tough to get rid of. And honestly, if you look at the Pro Football Focus grading, Charles has actually been okay this year. 71.9 Pro Football Focus grade. That's 27th among 84 NFL offensive tackles this year. Most of the sacks that he's given up this year has been due to Sam Howell holding on to the ball for too long. And also you look at the cap number here for Charles going into next season. It's $15.75 million. And if you get rid of him, you're taking on $8.25 million in dead cap. Now, will the Commanders do this? They absolutely could. They definitely have enough cap space to take on $8.25 in dead cap for the 2024 season. So if they really want to get rid of Charles, they can, but it might be the more cost-effective option to keep him on the roster, play him at left tackle, and draft his replacement early in the 2024 NFL draft. And then when it comes to Andrew Wiley, his cap hit is also pretty large as well, almost $10 million. And if you get rid of him, the cap hit is, or the dead cap is $7.83 million. So it definitely doesn't seem likely to me that the Commanders are going to be moving off of Andrew Wiley. If they're going to cut someone, it's probably going to be Charles Leno Jr. So with these two contracts being the way that they are, I'm bringing in Fautanu. I'm going to see what he can do at either left guard or right tackle. Maybe move Andrew Wiley to guard next year. You know, you got some options here with Fautanu who can play both tackle or guard. I just think this is the best strategy for the Commanders as we sit right now. And hold on, guys, hold on. I'm getting another call. This time it's from the Pittsburgh Steelers and their GM, Omar Khan, and they're interested in trading for Sam Howell to replace Kenny Pickett as their starting quarterback. So they're going to give us their second-round draft pick this year, number 54 overall, in exchange for Sam Howell. Of course, we just drafted our future starting quarterback of the future in Caleb Williams. Sam Howell, we get a second-round draft pick in exchange for him after a pretty decent sophomore season. Then we get to this pick here that used to belong to Pittsburgh. Now it belongs to us. And we're going to take a center, Cedric Van Pran, the center out of the Georgia Bulldogs, who's been absolutely fantastic. If he would have come out last year, I really think he probably would have been the first center taken. I'm really impressed with the tape that Cedric Van Pran has put out throughout his time with the Georgia Bulldogs. I think he's the number one center in this class, and if you can get him at number 54 overall in this year's draft class, I think it would be absolutely fantastic. And when you inject Cedric Van Pran with Andrew Fautanu to the potential offensive line going into next year for the Washington Commanders, I think you could work with this. Charles Leno Jr., somebody that's grading above average in terms of being an offensive tackle in the National Football League. Andrew Wiley, who I think is better as a guard than as a tackle at the NFL level. You move him to left guard. Sam Cosby's had a really good year at right guard, and then you inject Cedric Van Pran and Andrew Fotano at center and right tackle, respectively. I think this is a much improved offensive line for whoever the new offensive play caller is here in Washington next year, and it'll keep Sam Howell or whoever is the new quarterback here in Washington clean over the next several years. Now, go ahead, do me a favor right now, Commanders fans, before we finish this mock draft. I still got one more pick to go here in this 3-round mock. Make sure you click that thumbs up icon and like today's video for more draft content right here on the Commanders Report. And then when we get to the end of round 3 here, I'm hoping that Jack Sawyer, the edge rusher out of Ohio State University, ends up falling to us here. And I really do think this is a possibility. Now, of course, he's on the other side. Ohio State's pass rush, they've got quite a few pass rushers in this draft class. But right now, man, Sawyer is the highest grading out of all of them with a 90.0. That's 11th in the entire country. But right now, there's some other more maybe physically dominating, impressive candidates here and prospects from the Buckeyes that I think are going to get a little bit more attention here during the draft process. And I think Sawyer is somebody that's pretty polished. He's going to come out next year and be a reliable starter for whoever drafts him. And if you can get a reliable starting edge, number 100 overall here in the 2024 NFL draft, I think if you're the Commanders, you'll take that every single day. Now, in this scenario, of course, Jack Sawyer is probably not the type of guy that's going to come in and be a number 1 edge rusher for you right away. So if you want to get a true number 1 guy in this scenario, if you're trading up to go get a future franchise quarterback in Caleb Williams, you probably got to go to the free agency market and use your almost $90 million in cap space to go get one of the biggest names in free agency at the edge rusher position. Some names that they could potentially target: Danielle Hunter, Zadarius Smith, Josh Allen, Brian Burns is one that I've got my eye on. Jadeveon Clowney has had a fantastic season with the Baltimore Ravens this year. Josh Uche, Carl Lawson, and Marcus Davenport are other options to also consider here as we approach free agency. So if you're not going to go get a number 1 guy on the edge in round 1, I definitely think you need to be watching out for the Commanders to sign a top-flight edge rusher very early in NFL free agency here to anchor their edge rushing class here going into 2024. So what do you guys think? Let me know down there in the comments section. I know this one's kind of a spicy mock, trading up to number 1 to go get Caleb Williams, essentially replacing Sam Howell, sending him to Pittsburgh. So let me know what you guys think. I had a little bit of fun with this one. If you want to see a mock draft where I have the Commanders staying put, I also have one of those on the channel as well. But let me know, A, B, C, D, or F, how do you grade this Commanders mock draft with trades here as we approach the end of the 2023 NFL season? All right, that'll be it for me today, Commanders fans. Thank you so much for all of your support. Make sure you click that subscribe button for more Commanders draft content, including mock drafts just about every week right here on the channel, all leading up to the 2024 NFL draft, where we're going to be covering every single pick that your Washington Commanders make. So this is going to be a very important offseason for Washington here. I think we all understand that. New head coach most likely coming in, maybe a new quarterback. They're going to have 5 picks in the top 100. Huge offseason upcoming for the Commanders. So if you want to stay up to date with everything the Commanders do this offseason, make sure you click that subscribe button right now.